John's done a real fantastic job on the bed so far. I haven't really done much. I haven't had to touch it hardly at all. I think I'm going to wind up grinding down some of his Bondo today, but that's all just paper thin. You can see some of it you can even see through, which that's one of the cool things about Bondo is it's kind of translucent almost when it's real thin. The farmer that had this before me, and I don't mean that derogatorily at all, because obviously I'm a farmer too, or I wouldn't be planning on hauling hay in it, but he had welded eye hooks. Well, actually didn't weld them. He drilled holes and bolted eye hooks, so we had to weld those and then patch them up. But the bed on the inside is just about ready for lining. We got seam sealer to seal up where I didn't want to run a bead and mess up some stuff there. But this is an ugly patch of Bondo. John's got it on way thick, a lot thicker than he needs to, but that's all right. It'll grind off. I got a little patch there that I need to do a little cutting and welding on. The tailgate over here, honestly, is in pretty decent shape. It's got a couple dings, but I think John's about got them knocked out. I couldn't find a factory latch, so actually when I was putting this thing on the road the first time, when I was in a pretty big hurry, my dad just kind of welded up a latch and or I don't know, latch tab, whatever. Anyway, I found a tailgate and looked at it, and this is shaped a little differently, but the function's the exact same. It doesn't look a lot different, and it'll work. Obviously, I've got some grinding to do on this, and once again, I am not a professional welder, but that works. And all the latch there is that he built was it's a piece of pipe down inside with a tab hole drilled in it and a notch for the latch lever, I guess. But this bed was not beat up too bad, but as you can see there, maybe get a little closer, maybe you can see it. It's kind of separating this tailgate rather. So I'm having to weld it up a little bit, do some grinding and welding. And that's been the kind of the whole song on this whole deal. But that's how it goes. There's the front fender, and I just have to say, and you may disagree, but if you do, you can keep that to yourself, because I think that is absolutely beautiful. And back here, where they are prone to rust, this one was in fact rusted, and we built, John did the shaping, and we all kind of did the welding and the cutting and grinding. We built a piece that fit in there. It's about 12 inches long probably, and if you can find it, congratulations, because it's pretty hard to see. Matter of fact, I don't see it right now looking at it. See a little spot there. We need to work on some more Bondo though, but pretty much beautiful. This is the other fender, and we ran out of the same color primer, but the main reason we primed this anyway was just to keep it from rusting while we're waiting. Most of this will come back off and we'll get 2K primer put on it. But this is a half fender. From the gray, the middle of that gray on back is new, and obviously the front half is the old original truck. But there again, the stamp was bad. You know, it's just when you're buying these aftermarket parts, they're stamped overseas and quality control is not the best. So we kind of had to make it work in a few places, and beat on it with the hammer and dolly set quite a little bit. This portion up here, the curve is not the exact same as the other fender, but it's really close, and it's usable to the point that we can make whatever other alterations need made to it, probably after it's primed without any trouble. But it looks pretty dadgum good too. Honestly, the worst part, see, we haven't done the primer on, or the Bondo grinding on this side yet. It's still pretty roughed in, but it's, once again, it'll be really thin. The bed was actually in pretty decent shape. I don't know how in the world that happened, since the guy that owned it before me used it to haul firewood and didn't care about it. But honestly, this is the ugliest piece of all the body work we've done, which thankfully it won't be very visible at all. It really won't be visible at all. But one of the reasons it's ugly is because I want it to be strong. So rather than patching in sheet metal, I used some square tubing and welded it in. I think I had this in an earlier video. And it looks okay. It doesn't look great, but it's not bad. The turbo piping will come in. Let's see, right there's my vent, so it'll be right about there. And then the aftercooler will sit right across there, down to there. And we'll have a little bit of a every now and then, and that'll be fun. The doors were both about equally rotted, and we actually had a professional shop do the welding on that, Grissom's Auto Body, and they did a good job. The weld looks nice. That's our work there on the top, and I think it looks really good. We'll have to do just a little bit of work to finish it out. The deal that we made was that they'd weld it in and get it ground ready for us to Bondo and finish it out. They did a real good job. The other door doesn't look this good, and we did it. I was going to have them do the cab corners, but I'm short on money, and I think that we can do the cab corners, so I'll probably do them myself. Otherwise, Grissom would get those too. So that's pretty much where we are for right now. The engine, it looks good over here. I've got the sorry for the close-up. Got the timing belt cover off of it because I forgot to tighten up the timing belt tensioner. It didn't jump time. Thankfully, I was able to retime it. But it's looking pretty good. I've got it painted the green that the engine in the 60 model would have been in 1960, at least to the best that I can get the research to show me. Obviously, it's not the factory engine in the old 60 model anyway, but that's kind of what I'm wanting to do with this, is to have it where when you pop the hood, if you're a little bit ignorant, you won't catch on to the fact that it's not factory until you start looking at stuff and see my little turbo bonnet on it. I left the industrial engine tag on it because that's just funny to me. I don't know, maybe I'm just a little weird there, but anyway, we're getting there. It's taken some time, and you know, some things haven't gone as well as I'd hoped. Some things have gone pretty well. We're about 2 months past my due date that I set for myself. We're a little under budget still, so that's okay. And I'm sure you're thinking, well, how are you out of money if you're under budget? Well, the reason is because I knew I didn't have enough money to cover the budget. There's my little turbo bonnet. That's actually off of a Volvo, and as much as I don't like putting crossbred stuff, like having a Chevy engine in a Ford or whatever people do, Volvo was owned by Ford, so it's okay. Volvo might still be owned by Ford, but it's not that I'm a Ford brand name bigot like a lot of people are, but I just don't like having a bunch of different brand names under the hood. If there's a different brand name under the hood, it needs to be an aftermarket that was made for what's in there. But that's my opinion. You do whatever you want when you're building yours. So anyway, I hope that you're enjoying what you've seen us doing. I hope that you're at least learning from our mistakes.